Welcome back to the podcast Across. I'm Nyasha, and as always, I'm joined by my fantastic co-host, Tawanda. How's it going, Tawanda?
It's going great, Nyasha. Always good to be here, and I'm really looking forward to today's conversation. We've got a topic that's super important, not just for us, but for the future of our continent.
Absolutely. Today, we're diving deep into a topic that's close to our hearts and affects millions across the continent: the pressing problems faced by youth in modern-day Africa. And to make it a bit more concrete, we're going to focus specifically on the situation in Zimbabwe.
It's a conversation that needs to happen, and often. When we talk about Africa's future, we're really talking about its youth. Their challenges, their struggles, but also their incredible resilience and potential. We want to really unpack some of these issues today, from the ground up.
Exactly. We'll be exploring everything from unemployment to access to education, and the societal pressures that young people in Zimbabwe, and by extension, much of Africa, are grappling with. It's going to be an engaging, perhaps at times tough, but ultimately hopeful discussion. So, stick with us.
So, Nyasha, picking up from where we left off, when we talk about painting a clear picture of the challenges, I think the elephant in the room for many young Zimbabweans, and indeed for youth across much of Africa, has to be unemployment. It's not just a statistic, it's a daily reality that shapes their lives.
Absolutely, Tawanda. The numbers are quite stark, but beyond the figures, you see the human cost. Imagine graduating from university, full of hope and ambition, only to find that there are virtually no formal jobs available. We're talking about youth unemployment rates that are incredibly high, sometimes cited well over 60% in various reports for young people. It's a huge psychological burden.
It truly is. And it's not just about finding any job, but finding meaningful employment that aligns with their skills and aspirations. Many are forced into the informal sector, hawking goods or doing odd jobs just to survive. While resilience is admirable, it's often out of necessity, not choice. This lack of formal opportunity also stunts economic growth because you have this vast pool of talent that isn't being properly utilized.
Exactly. And this ties directly into the next major hurdle: access to quality education. We often hear about increasing enrollment rates, which is great, but the quality of that education is a different story. Are the schools adequately resourced? Do they have enough qualified teachers? Is the curriculum preparing students for the demands of the modern job market, especially a digital one?
That's a critical point, Nyasha. You might have a diploma or a degree, but if the education system hasn't equipped you with practical skills or critical thinking, it becomes incredibly challenging to compete, especially in a rapidly evolving tech-driven world. And let's not forget the financial barriers to accessing even what's available: school fees, examination fees, transportation. For many families, these costs are prohibitive, pushing young people out of the system prematurely.
Yeah, the digital literacy gap is also huge here. If you're not getting exposure to basic computer skills or digital tools in school, you're already at a disadvantage when you enter the workforce or try to create your own opportunities.
Beyond education, another often overlooked challenge is access to quality healthcare. For young people, this isn't just about treating illnesses, but also about preventative care, mental health support, and sexual and reproductive health services. Public health facilities in many areas are strained, understaffed, and lack essential supplies.
That's a really important point, Tawanda. The mental health aspect especially. With all the economic pressures, the job scarcity, and the general uncertainty, young people are under immense stress. But are there adequate, affordable mental health services available to them? Often the answer is no, or they're highly stigmatized.
Definitely. And then we have the societal pressures. There's the expectation from family to succeed, to support siblings, to provide for parents. This adds another layer of burden on young shoulders already struggling with a tough economic climate.
And with that, we've come to the end of another insightful episode of the podcast Across. Tawanda, thank you for this deep dive into such a crucial topic.
My pleasure, Nyasha. It's been a really important conversation. For our listeners, we hope this episode has shed light on the complex challenges faced by youth in Zimbabwe, and indeed across Africa.
We started by unpacking those core issues: unemployment, limited access to education and healthcare, then explored the root causes from economic instability to policy